Hi, welcome to Jonathan's Art Journey. I'm Jonathan, and we're back at it again, looking at watching back my figure sessions. That was an interesting little warm-up. I tried to do the simplified shapes of forms of the body that I'd noticed so far. Maybe go back and pause it and see if you can see if you can recognize what each one is. Little guessing game for you. There won't be any answers because of the format of this, but you're free to try. I might go back and try it myself when we're done. Nice shape, nice gesture on this one. Nice sort of blobby forms. I'm not sure if I add much to it with the shadow shapes in this time, but apparently it's very important that I capture those lines on the belly button. Another nice spiral as a warm-up. Yeah, I'm not sure. Ooh, nice knee there. I'm not sure. Looking back on this, it seems to me like they were pretty good without the shadow shapes, and maybe that's just a preference for sort of a more simplified drawing, and adding in any extra lines just sort of takes away from the fonts there. Yeah, it's my lament at pausing once again. And that was probably when the time limit came up, and I was like, nope, no more. Interesting, I started with the face. I think I started with the face and a couple of the other ones as well. Another instance of leaving a bunch of information in the not detailed in the shadows. The sort of background and the arm and the bottom of her torso sort of mixing together there. I guess this must have been another one with very harsh shadows, considering I feel the need to delineate them all. That and just practice. Putting in the rest of the background there to make it obvious that that's what it is. So I noticed an interesting thing about the anatomy on this one. So instead of it going from the rear to the rib cage directly, there's like a little middle section, which I don't really tend to think about capturing usually. Not sure why I got rid of that. It was fine, although what I put back in is also fine. Yeah, that was a good result. I like that one. Yep, tired boy doing this late at night. I think I captured the hands pretty well there. Some nice sort of handy looking lines. Again, trying to capture a face. I guess because it's the last one. I feel like I have the option of spending longer on it and capturing a face in there, maybe a bit more realistic than what I've done previously. I think it works out pretty well. Getting the ooh, don't don't zoom in, don't do that. Getting the sort of proportions down, and then delineating the features by putting in the shadow shapes rather than like here is lines for the eye, here's lines for the nose. I think it worked out pretty well. I'm just sort of finalizing the yep, sure, that's good enough. Yeah, finalizing the exact proportions of the hip and the rib cage there. this? This was one, I think it was either the same very slender, skinny model from earlier, who was very, very long and lean, or someone with a similar build. But she was messing around with like this interesting metal frame thing, which certainly made for some interesting poses, and it also meant I could use the edges of the square frame that I'm using for everything as the, like, well, the frame that she's messing around with. Had a bit of trouble with that one, it seems. Running out of time. I think that's what I'm getting frustrated with. Seems like a pattern. I don't get it quite right in the time limit, and then the time runs out. I'm like, darn, that was a bad drawing. I can see it. It doesn't look very good. I can either try again or pause it and try and get it good. I usually opt for the latter when I get frustrated. Plus, maybe I wasn't really feeling it. Face is a bit odd there, but hey. I think I skipped a pose there. Nope, I just was getting the proportions wrong. Now that leg had good gesture. I think I found a good brush size here for getting like a good variation between thick and thin. A bit of interest there while not having it too thick, although I do experiment a little bit later with some thicker brushes, and I don't think I ever go thinner than this because you kind of sort of just becomes like a pencil at that point. And also, like, it's if you go too small, this particular one sort of just runs out and becomes like a sort of dry brush. Not sure what I was up to there, but hey. Nice little shape to delineate the back of the shoulder blade there. An important landmark on the back. I think the shoulders are probably a bit too wide, and yep, I agreed and tried to fix it, but ended up not committing those fixes. I committed a little fix there. The power of digital. This is way too wide. Shoop. Seems like I was quite frustrated this day. Trying that last pose again got it way too wide. But just running with it, I guess. Nope. Yeah, this model had a... Whoa! What am I up to there? A little grin on her face pretty much the whole time. Losing half the shape half the face in shadow. Losing most of the forms. And once again, sure, that's good enough. Wasn't my favorite pose to end on, but it's fine. It's fine. Not sure what I was getting so hung up on there, but another person messing around with the framework, I think. Using the metal frame to get more interesting poses. Apparently my proportions need work. Yeah, this one was fun. So this time I try and get it like sort of accurate and get all, capture all the lines properly and make sure all that arm, well, at least the upper part of it's quite nice, quite smooth and flowing. And delineating the shadow shapes there. So yeah, she has her leg hooked over the thing. and it's fine, but I thought it was a bit stiff, especially compared to the what I was looking at. So like, no, let's do the gesture. And then I did, and the legs ended up bloody massive, but it's got more life to it, I think. So it's that balance, I guess. You know, ideally you'd be able to get down the correct proportions the first time and also have nice flowing gesture, but hey, it's pretty, you know, this was my first time in a long time doing gesture drawing, and all this stuff sort of takes skill, and skill takes time to develop, so just stop being so hard on myself. It's pretty clear what I thought the main feature was here. Again, another example of like doing one slow and stiff and then another one focusing on gesture. Very wide set eyes there. I think I just leave it like that. It's enough information there to sort of guess at the rest of the face. Another horizontal pose. Difficult. I guess I should call it prone rather than a horizontal person, but these count as prone? I don't know. I actually like the face on this one, even if that's not. Maybe I should become a portrait artist if I'm so fixated on showing these little faces. It is the part of the you know, the body that we're drawn to first. Contains the most emotional information in it. I believe next is hands, and then just the rest of the body. I think this was the long pose, so I end up going on it for quite a while here. Putting in the shadow shapes. Her head is very large, I'm just noticing. Putting the shadow shapes in on the face. Makes it look a bit pretty interesting. Putting in the framework has some context. I think putting in the scene, if you can, like even just a few lines, really helps make it a scene rather than just a floating body in space. And apparently I forgot to record all the hatching that I did at the end. That's one way to delineate tone with ink. In this instance, I am not very fond of the results because it looks kind of like dirt because it's not very even. I don't have very good control of my pen pressure, and the brush is kind of unpredictable. But hey, at least it does in fact tell you where the shadow is and where it isn't. And there we go. Thanks very much for watching, and let's keep this figure drawing truck rolling. On to the next one. Let's go!